Benjamin Franklin. To Madame Rubio, I received my dear friend's 2 letters, one for Wednesday and one for Saturday. This is again Wednesday. I do not deserve one for today, because I have not answered the former. But indolent as I am, and adverse to writing, the fear of having no more of your pleasing epistles, if I do not contribute to the correspondence, oblige me to take up my pen. And as Mr. B has kindly sent me word that he sets out tomorrow to see you, instead of spending this Wednesday evening, as I have done it namesakes, in your delightful company, I sit down to spend a day thinking of you, in writing to you, and reading over and over again your letters. I am charmed with your description of paradise and your plan of living there, and I approve much of your conclusion that in the meantime we should draw all the good we can afford from this earth. In my opinion, we might all draw more good from it than we do, and suffer less evil, if we would take care not to give too much for whistles. For to me, it seems that most of the unhappy people we meet with are become so neglect of the caution. You ask what I mean. You love stories, and I will excuse myself telling you one. When I was a child of 7 years old, my friends on a holiday filled my pocket with coppers. I went directly to a shop that were sold toys for children, and being charmed with the sound of a whistle that I met by the way in the hands of another boy, I voluntarily offered and gave all of my money for one. I then came home and went whistling over the house, much pleased with my whistle, but disturbing all of my family, my brothers and sisters, and cousins, understanding the bargain I had made. Told I had given 4 times as much for it as it was worth. Put me in mind that what good things I might have bought with the rest of my money, and laughed at me so much for my folly that I cried with vexation. And the reflection gave more chagrin than the whistle gave me pleasure. This, however, was afterwards of use to me, the impression continuing on my mind, so that often, when I was tempted to buy some unnecessary thing, I said to myself, don't give too much for the whistle, and I saved money. As I grew up, came to the world, and observed the actions of men, I thought that I met with many, very many, who gave too much for the whistle. When I saw one too ambitious of court favor, sacrificing his time in attendance on Nevis, his repose, his liberty, his virtue, and perhaps his friends to attain it, I have said to myself, this man gives too much for his whistle. When I saw another fond of popularity, constantly employing himself in political bustles, neglecting his own affairs and ruining them by that neglect, he pays indeed, said I, too much for his whistle. If I knew a miser who gave up every kind of comfortable living, all the pleasure of doing good to others, all the esteem of his fellow citizens, and the joys of benevolent friendship, for the sake of accumulating wealth, poor man, said I, you pay too much for your whistle. When I met with a man of pleasure, sacrificing every laudable improvement of the mind or of his fortune to mere corporeal sensations, and ruining his health in the pursuit. Mistaken man, said I, you are providing pain for yourself instead of pleasure. You give too much for your whistle. If I see one fond of appearance, or fine clothes, fine houses, fine furniture, fine equipage, all above his furniture for which he contracts debts, and ends his career in a prison, alas, say I, he has paid dear, very dear, for his whistle. When I see a beautiful, sweet-tempered girl married to an ill-mannered brute of an husband, what a pity, say I, that she should pay for a whistle. In short, I conceive that great of the miseries of mankind are brought upon them by the false estimates they have made of the value of things, and by their giving too much for their business. Yet I ought to have charity for this unhappy people, when I consider that, with all this wisdom of which I am boasting, there are certain things in the world so tempting, for example, the apples of King John, which happily are not to be bought, for if they were put to sale by auction, I might very easily be led to ruin myself in the purchase, and find that I had once more given too much for the